Yeah, so the thing is, other day you were mentioning about the improvement, and we know the importance of shop floor improvement. But can you tell me more examples about improvement in management?
See, management doesn't exist without a business.
Yeah,
So we should not create caste, creed, and classes in our society called industrial society.
yeah,
Even a worker is managing his own job.
yeah,
A supervisor is managing his own job plus some workers.
yeah,
A manager is managing his own job plus some supervisors plus some workers.
yeah,
A managing director is managing several managers, his own job, several managers and supervisors and workers.
yeah,
I think the question should be rephrased as, can we do improvement at all levels of an organization?
yeah,
It should be a seamless improvement in the vertical hierarchy of an organization, and it should be a seamless improvement in the horizontal value chain of the organization.
yeah,
I will illustrate this point. There is a very famous term all of us come across called Kaizen.
yeah,
It's a Japanese word, but even Germans have started accepting it now. 30 years back, they were not accepting it. They said continuous improvement. Then my friend from Toyota came and said, there is a difference between continuous improvement and continual improvement. We can do a separate podcast on Kaizen. I just want to tell you briefly. Continual improvement means improve, stabilize, standardize, again improve, stabilize, standardize, again improve. That is the difference between continual improvement and continuous improvement.
yeah,
Even when you are climbing the Tirupati hills, you climb 10 steps, sit down somewhere, sauce le lo, rest le lo, coffee pivo, then you climb another 10 steps.
yeah,
That stabilizing is very, very important. And it cuts across levels from worker to MD. It cuts across functions from design to after sales service. But traditionally what happened, the Kaizen and continual improvement happened only in the manufacturing shop floor.
correct.
In the last 20 years or 30 years of my career, I experimented with my own companies in many ways of implementing this continual improvement. And Manu Ganesh was very happy to support me on that, even though he was not in shop floor. Yeah, Manu Ganesh was a unique person who said, no, even in service department, I want to introduce Kaizen. So we had Kaipa Padmanabhaya doing Kaizen in shop floor. I'm sure he is listening to me today, the podcast. He is heading a big company in Mysore now. And Manu Ganesh said, I will do in service. Can you believe the power of the Kaizen when it was done in two departments, in manufacturing and in service, was not 1 + 1 is equal to 2. 1 + 1 is equal to 11. Many people think 1 + 1 is equal to 2. No. Some people say 1 + 1 is equal to 3. No. 1 + 1 is equal to 11. Because when there is a problem in the market, the service person is coming with the feedback. Let's say spindle coolant has entered into spindle, for example. Then who will solve the problem? Only the shop floor manufacturing person will solve the problem. Then the manufacturing person said, sir, design has to cooperate. Oh, then I said, we should have a Kaizen function, Kaizen improvement in design also. So design department took interest and said, okay, sir, we will also launch Kaizen program. So then I brought 3 functions into Kaizen program. Design, manufacturing, and service. The 3 technical functions which manufacture machine tool or an automobile, or for that matter, a food, Coca-Cola, or a McDonald's burger, whoever it is, these are 3 core functions. You design the burger, you manufacture the burger, and you service the burger in the McDonald's outlet. So don't think these examples are only for a high engineering, machine tool industry, aircraft. No. Kaizen, continual improvement, my dear friends, is applicable to all industries. It is applicable even to non-manufacturing industry.
Yeah.
Then in my new company, I said, why don't we start Kaizen in finance function and HR function?
Okay.
They started it. So support functions also enjoying, and supply purchase function, they also started it. Then we rewarded them. We have a collaborative exercise to reward them.
Yeah.
The reward is not money. The reward is they're coming and standing on the stage and all other people clapping the hand. Is the best reward. Appreciation is the best reward. But then we also gave them books on improvement. See, why do we do improvement? The purpose of improvement should be clear to our audience today. I'll take 2 minutes on that. The only purpose of doing improvement is to satisfy and delight the customer.
Yeah.
That is why I put these 3 principles together for success of our new generation. Is the customer focus, continual improvement through collaboration.
Yeah.
The target is customer focus. The methodology is continual improvement. The philosophy is collaboration.
Great.
Why I am putting these 3 together? Customer says, I want the machine faster. I want the machine cheaper. And I want the machine to perform better. The automobile customer says, I want to go 300 km fast. But if you apply the brake, it should stop immediately. Only one company understood this very well, is a Volkswagen. So they made a car which stopped in microseconds. Even Toyota cars, they take some time to stop. So the quality and safety together with speed. And if I order the car, I don't want to wait. Those days, Ambassador car, if you order, you have to wait for 3 years. If you order the Bajaj scooter, you have to wait for 5 years. I have to get the car from the dealer. Car comes. Even through Amazon, I should be able to order a car.
Yeah.
And then the cost of the car should not be 4 lakhs, it should be 3 lakhs, sir. During Corona, I want a small car. Mr. Ratan Tata said, Tata Nano, target price is 1 lakh. Everybody said, no, not possible, sir. But after 1 year, they achieved 90,000 rupees price. Year 1, it was rolled out at 90,000. A lot of bookings happened. Because the vision was very clear. It should be below 1 lakh. So that people using motorcycles and scooters will start driving cars. That was his vision. The bottom of the pyramid should grow up. Here is an example of cheaper. Cheaper doesn't mean low quality. So faster, better and cheaper. Better means higher quality. I have to achieve high quality at a faster speed at a very low price.
Yeah.
I want a masala dosa from Sheraton Hotel delivered in 7 minutes at a price of Darshini. Or what is the famous hotel in Jayanagar?
Ganesh.
Vidyarthi. Vidyarthi Bhavan. Price I must get from Sheraton, but delivered in 7 minutes. Garma Garam. And the taste of the masala dosa should be better than Saravana Bhavan. Not even Vidyarthi Bhavan. Faster, better, cheaper is a mantra of the customer. Now bring it back. Service department should be faster, better and cheaper. Bring it back. Assembly department should be faster, better and cheaper. Bring it back. Machining department should be faster, better, cheaper. Bring it back. Supply chain department should be faster, better and cheaper. Bring it back. Design department should be faster, better and cheaper. If design to after sale service, if everybody is faster, better and cheaper, then customer is delighted. This I have seen in my actual experience in all the companies that I work for, where the customer is the one who pays all our salaries. if you can do a continual improvement through Kaizen philosophy, by eliminating waste, the 3 wastes of Kaizen philosophy, the Muda, Mura and Muri, we'll talk about in another podcast. How to eliminate waste, Muda. How to reduce the variability in the quality of the production, Mura. How to reduce the difficulty of doing the work and strain doing the performing the work, Muri. If I do all the 3, step by step, small drops make the ocean.
Yeah.
So you said improvement at management level. I challenge you, Mr. Abhijit, management at all levels. Thank you, sir.
That's a great perspective, actually. So, Manu, you want to ask any questions?
I have only one question.
Yeah.
See, Chandramali sir having so big experience, definitely he would have undergone a lot of challenges in his business. So, what were the challenges and how he overcame it? That is what I would like to know.
See, my biggest challenge, Manu,
Yes, sir.
was that every company I started was greenfield venture. I'm just thinking aloud. In a greenfield venture, market development is a challenge because you don't have any customer at all. Product development is a challenge because you don't have no product at all. People development is a challenge. Even we are only token number 1. We have to recruit all the people and we have to develop. And there is no supplier at all. We have to develop all the suppliers. So typically, whether you are an entrepreneur or a startup company or a greenfield venture in a corporate life like I had, to be honest, I want to tell you with all the humility at my disposal, that I have been an entrepreneur in all my, at least 3 decades, if not the 4 decades. Fortunately, because all the companies from 1990 onwards have been greenfield in some way or other. Some of them are brownfield. Brownfield means company is running, but I had to take it to another level. Double the turnover, triple the turnover level, one has to do. So that is also like a brownfield. In this, you have to do a lot of entrepreneurial things. What is entrepreneurial things? Something which even your boss has not told you to do is called entrepreneurial thing. Manu Ganesh luckily has no boss other than his wife today. But those days, he had a boss. He calls him a guru, myself, but he had a boss. But he worked as an entrepreneur even when he was in the corporate life. What did he do? He on his own went to customers and asked, "Sir, do you have a problem?" Nobody told him to check that point with the customers. Because in the good old days, there is a breakdown of machine, he will send people to attend the machine breakdown. He was a glorified dispatcher of having a set of people and dispatching them.
Yeah.
At that time, he had 12 people. When he left the company, he had 72 people. What happened in that short period? He went and asked customers, "Sir, you have any problem?" Oh, they were delighted. Oh, somebody is coming and asking what the others are avoiding problem and he is asking what is the problem. And he noted down the problems from 300 customers. He comes back and tells design how to improve manufacturing, how to improve service also. Then the organization went from one level to another level, another level to another level. The turnover galloped every year. I'm not saying it's only because of service function. I'm saying all functions rose to the occasion with customer focus.
Yeah.
And therefore, the challenges I faced in greenfield venture, Mr. Manu Ganesh,
Yes, sir.
I want to tell you one more challenge, which is a secret. Every company I changed, I had to unlearn what I learned in the previous company and learn again in the next company. Because in Cooper Busman, it was switch gear. In Makino, it is machine tool. In Unilever, it was juta, footwear, shoes. I was making millions of shoes for the global market, juta. in Unilever Ponds. Then Hitachi, I was working for refrigeration air conditioning. I had to unlearn the previous sector and learned that is the biggest challenge I personally went through. There's a secret how I did it. You want the secret to be revealed today or another podcast?
No. It can. This is the most interesting thing. So,
Okay. Abhijit is curious.
yeah.
My boss, I want to mention the name of the boss. There are two bosses. I will mention their names. Mr. Aravind Nair, who was my boss in Amtrak Hitachi Lalbai Group. Mr. K.S. Sankaran, my boss in Makino. Unfortunately, he is no more. Last year, he passed away. He is a guru of gurus. Mr. K.S. Sankaran, guru of gurus. This podcast will not be complete if I don't mention his name. These two leaders even come in my dream. Why? Because they changed me. They changed me. One changed me at the age of 32, 34, like that. Aravind Nair. Another changed me when I was aged at 45 something. They did not tell they want to change me. No. They set their example and we follow as a role model. You asked about improvement in management. I discovered myself at the age of 35 with the help of Mr. Nair. I improved myself with the help of Mr. K. Sankaran at the age of 40. What is the secret they told? If you want to learn the new business, go and meet the customer. This I say with full conviction to the audience listening today, yesteryears, future, even 100 years from now, same topic.
Yeah.
Why? Hitachi was refrigeration product. I told Mr. Aravind Nair, sir, I don't know anything about the Coca-Cola coolers. Coca-Cola coolers, मेरे को लेना देना नहीं. I was always producing footwear, shoes in Ponds. He said, no problem. Even though you were producing shoes, I have selected you to run the business for Coca-Cola coolers. Greenfield venture. The company was not producing even one cooler. Zero, nothing. There's no land also to build a factory, which we built later. Then I said, what do I do? He said, go and meet the retail shop. Retail shop who is selling Coca-Cola to the consumer. I did that. I visited 100 retail shops in and around Hyderabad and Ahmedabad. I was working in Ahmedabad, but both were hot places, hot country, 50 degrees Celsius. Ahmedabad summer, Hyderabad summer, 50 degrees Celsius. These two places I visited a lot of dealers. 6 months time he gave me, no problem, go and visit all. All the retailers gave me a lot of information. How the cooler should be kept, how the bottle should be kept inside, how the door should be opened, how the door should be closed, how we should repair the compressor, hundreds of things. How the Coca-Cola display should be there on the cooler, and what are the problems that they're facing. Not my product, my competitors. I came back and then he said, sir, now I'm ready. No. Go and meet all the bottling companies of Coca-Cola. I visited 50 bottling companies across the country, Coca-Cola bottling companies. Parle was that time in charge, and thereafter one by one Coca-Cola and Pepsi-Cola were acquiring. I was asked to visit Coca-Cola bottling companies, but I was also allowed to visit Pepsi-Cola. They give a lot of information because they are the people who are sending the cooler and the bottles to the retail market. For 1 year, I was not given any target. Business target. The rest of the story in a different podcast.
Okay.
Same thing, Mr. Sankaran. Don't worry, go with Manu Ganet, visit 300 customers. I'm saying the truth.
Yeah.
These two leaders did not ask for target on year 1. Did not ask me to do any administrative job on year 1. Not even signing a check.
Yeah.
Go and visit customers. Ashte. This Taraka Mantra is the one I'm telling you, Abhijit, is a loud and clear for the team who is listening today, audience, and any amount of people in the next 100 years of industrial revolution in this country or anywhere in the world. The best teacher for us is not even our immediate superior, boss, as we call it, but our customer. Then you might ask, sir, many people working in design department, maintenance department, production department, they get no exposure to the customer. Simple answer, another secret, they have to listen to the internal customer. The next department is a customer for every department in a company.
I think this we will end our questions. Now we'll go to next round.
Oh, I thought it's all over. You become worse than Arnab Goswami. Okay, go ahead.
So we are going to go to the next stage, rapid fire. Where
Rapid fire.
Yeah.
Fire itself is so bad. Rapid fire.
So we are going to ask some impromptu questions to you. So I'll start with the first question. If you had to eat one thing for every meal going forward, what would you eat?
In every meal,
Yeah.
rasam. Sharu. In Canada, it is sharu. Rasam is.
Okay. What is your hidden talent that nobody knows?
Tamil film music, where I have posted 4,500 songs in Smool in the last 3 years.
Oh, nice.
Even Manu doesn't know that.
Oh, I didn't know.
Tamil film music only, but there are 5 Hindi songs also in that. 4,500, 5 Hindi songs.
Cool. So I'll probably install Smule and start.
But there is another hidden talent I didn't tell you. Tamil poetry. Oh, thousands and thousands of poetry are written. Tamil poetry.
Oh, nice.
Couple of English poems, but Tamil.
Nice. You can give us the blog. I can probably.
No. They are not in any blog. The songs are in Spool, which I will text you.
Yeah.
But the poems are still a secret.
Okay.
A friend of mine said I must write a book publication.
Okay.
Waiting for the right time.
Great.
Fire fast.
Manu. Yeah.
Sir, all these poems, were they directed at any one person or any crush at school?
No. In a podcast, these secrets cannot be revealed. But the poetry cuts across all emotions of a human, including how to protect nature, how to protect from pollution, to what you are alluding to in terms of romantic feelings. All are covered, don't worry.
Then definitely please share.
Okay. What is the first career you dreamed of having as a kid?
As a kid,
Yeah.
I had no dreams at all as a kid. In fact, I forgot what I did below the age of 10.
Okay.
Even at the age of 15, I could not remember what I did below the age of 10. Well,
Okay.
till today, I cannot visualize what
I think
dreams.
you unlearned every stage. So that is what is keeping you so.
I think the common factor is we have to be happy.
Yeah.
What keeps you happy, I kept doing. As a student, I was climbing trees and fell down and all.
Yeah.
They done all sorts of mischief.
Okay.
I don't want to give any slogan like Mr. Abdul Kalam said once, right? That a vision is not a dream which comes in your sleep, but a vision is a dream which makes you sleepless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is Abdul Kalam. मेरा तो ऐसा कुछ स्लोगन नहीं है. I am a simple guy. Whatever I want to do well. That's all.
Okay.
Simple philosophy.
What does success mean to you?
Success means satisfaction.
Okay.
Success is the opposite of satisfaction. To me, success means satisfaction.
Okay.
And that means you should be satisfied. If I am doing a song in the Smule, I should be happy. Then only I say continue and post. Then it goes to the internet.
Cool.
But we are all human. So if somebody says, hey, that song you sang was very good here. This poem is excellent. This webinar you did in Industry 4.0 is damn good. You know, the machine that you made in Makino is fantastic. Suppose they say that, it makes you very, very happy. So to that extent, I'm still an ordinary human. I would love to have appreciation.
Cool.
So one's own satisfaction and my audience satisfaction is a measure of success. Not becoming managing director and all those things. No.
Okay.
I call them as corollary. The corollary of satisfaction is a success.
Okay.
Success happens. You cannot achieve success. No,
Okay.
it happens. I'm not talking like Bhagavan Krishna of Gita and all. No. But he had another meaning. He said, do not expect the result. But people always mistake what he meant. I'll
Okay.
tell you the secret what he meant. It's a separate podcast by itself.
Okay.
Actually, it's a Japanese philosophy. Japanese philosophy is focus on the process. How to machine the product, how to assemble the product. Focus on the process. The order will automatically come from Mahindra, Tata, everybody given pouring orders. Just focus on the process. The process called slim machine. See, good things I can mention in the podcast.
Yeah.
The slim machine, vertical machining center, which made a revolution in the Indian market. We just focused on the process of designing it, making it perfect, improve it day by day. More than 100 improvements were done even in my time.
Yeah.
Result automatically come. So Bhagavan Krishna, what he said is, don't go after the result. Focus on the process. What he meant was that.
Yeah.
People thought, don't expect result. Matlab koi order nahi aayega. So how do we incorporate life and Gita? How to bring it together? This is a method.
Yeah. 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 I think.
Result will come on its own. Arjuna, don't worry. You do your duty. Result will come on its own.
Yeah.
At the right time. If Arjun went saying, I want to win the war, he can never win the war. But if he knows how he should put the bhana at the right time, at the right person, even though it may be a guru of his, the result. That is the philosophy, I believe, the Japanese concept of process orientation, improvement in the process, the customer focused process, the collaborative process, and the improvement oriented process.
Yeah.
Sorry, rapid fire still looks like a podcast. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. Okay, what qualities do you value in people with whom you spend more time or most time?
Happy people, collaborative people, improving people, customer oriented people, jolly people, and people who don't complain about others.
Okay.
Yeah. But in one word, how can you describe yourself?
See, there are two types of people, Manu. Hard working people and hardly working people. I belong to the second category, hardly working people.
But my experience is reverse. Anyway, in this matter, I will disagree.
Okay, one word I say, tell you, one word. whatever I do, I want to do it well.
Okay.
That's happening even today. And I'm trying to create a curriculum. I cannot disclose a name. Creating a curriculum for Industry 4.0 for managers. It's an MBA curriculum. It will be launched next year. Once it is launched, it will be no more a secret.
Sure.
And that is a task given to me by one of the famous colleges. And I want to do it well.
Sure.
At a given time, I will consult Manu and other experts in the curriculum development.
Sure, sir.
Sure, sir.
Yeah. Now we are end of rapid fire round. And we want to ask 2 questions. So first question, Manu, you want to ask?
You can ask.
Okay. So which technologies do you think will change manufacturing in coming future?
This question is easy for me to answer because you see the pictures on my screen.
Yeah.
All the pictures on my screen. I mean, I never realized this question is going to come.
Yeah.
But my screensaver, designed by an expert, yeah, is the one going to change the world.
Okay.
And the manufacturing world for sure. It has already changed the Ola world and Masala Dosa world.
Yeah.
And the big basket world.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not saying it because I love this topic today. The other 3 principles I mentioned, customer focus, improvement, and collaboration, all 3 are served by Industry 4.0 technologies.
Okay.
You take the data from the customer to improve your Coca-Cola or to improve your aircraft.
Yeah.
You take the data from your next department collaboratively and improve your previous department in the value chain.
Yeah.
And data analytics helps you to improve continuously.
Yeah.
Every process. What are the major improvements that one is expecting? Quality, delivery, and cost. Faster, better, cheaper.
Yeah.
And safety, productivity, downtime of machines, asset utilization.
Yeah.
And above all, health of employees, even if there is a pandemic called COVID.
Yeah.
If so many improvements are required, you need to connect the people, you need to connect the machines, you need to connect the materials, you need to connect the products, and you need to connect the customers and the suppliers and even government, etc., etc. We have to connect.
Yeah.
And connectivity, which has happened in Ola and Masala Dosa example, can we have in our manufacturing subsystem also?
Yeah.
Whether you call it IoT or whatever it is, the end result is connectivity. The second is traceability. If there is a problem, I should be able to trace the root cause of the problem. Man, machine, material, methods. Why the problem happened?
Yeah.
And I should be able to visibility. I must see the problem in my mobile app. If I take the mobile, I should be able to see it. Mobility and visibility through a dashboard. Ola car coming or not? Masala Dosa coming or not? When it is coming? What is the price? I can see in mobile phone. Can I see the manufacturing topics on the mobile phone? The future entrepreneur will work out of home. He will never come to the factory. Manu Ganesh's screensaver is showing like a factory, but I know he's working out of home. At least I'm honest enough. My screensaver is not a factory. So the point is, the future of manufacturing cannot escape connectivity, traceability, and mobility. If those 3 goals are achieved, you can improve quality, you can improve delivery, you can improve safety, you can improve productivity, machine utilization, etc., etc., even health of employees. Continuously, you can improve.
Yeah.
For that, you need customer focus, continual improvement, and collaboration. Thank you, Abhijit.
Sir, I have one.
Oh, one more.
Last question.
Okay.
Like, of course, in fact, we can write a book on your own life. That much of knowledge you have.
No.
But
My life
what
is my guru. Life is my guru.
I appreciate that. So, what books which have made you actually? Do you
My
have
God.
can recommend any books which have made a person like you?
You see, I stopped reading books. Mr. Sankaran San told me that he never read any management book. Who? Mr. Sankaran. I was wondering, sir, you have not read any book? I was 45 that time, age. Yeah, why should I read a book? Whatever I learned, I'm learning in Makino. He said, 30 years he's been Makino. All his life he has been that one company which taught him everything. But he reads general books, general knowledge books about animals, about countries, about language, about culture. He reads a lot of books. And he also reads people. He reads customers' body language, employee, everything he reads. Whereas I was reading books on just in time. I was reading books on Kaizen. Before meeting Mr. Sankaran, right? I was reading books on, all this stuff, what I talked about. Because people gave me these books, competitive strategy, somebody gifted me. And our ability to read books is inversely proportional to our age. I mean, Manu Ganesh and all are exceptions. And therefore, I stopped reading books, but my library is full. Some of them are catching dust. And some books I bought fresh from the airport, Bangalore airport, Delhi airport, read only one page. Because second page, I'll remember Mr. Sankaran. So I stopped reading. But of late, after retiring, I'm forced to read again because I'm a consultant. A consultant's skill is to read books and tell others to read books. But honestly, because the consultancy was in an area quite different from whatever I learned in the life, I was forced to read. I had to unlearn all the things. Again, post-retirement, I had to unlearn and relearn. One of the things I learned is the Industry 4.0, which I never knew in Makino or in Starog machine tool company. But the foundation was laid in those companies, Makino and Starog, CNC machine tool, highly automated machine tool companies.
Yeah.
So I learned something, and therefore these days I'm reading. The latest thing I was reading this morning is a secret. It is called Lean 4.0.
Okay.
Oh.
I had to do it for that college I mentioned to you. That college wants a curriculum of MBA, 2-year MBA. But can you believe, Manu Ganesh, there are no textbooks available on Industry 4.0 till now.
Oh.
There is only one book available in the whole world. If you Google it, it will come in the first page.
Okay.
So that too technology oriented, not management oriented, business oriented.
Okay.
It will talk about artificial intelligence, augmented reality, technology, blah, 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 blah. IT person very happy. OT person, no. IT, OT integration, no. So this is an issue.
No.
10 years from now, books will be published in this area. And I hope Abhijit and Manu also will be writing books on this topic.
Sure.
Sure, by your
Definitely we'll be trying that.
with your learnings, definitely.
Yeah. Good. So this is our end of our podcast. Thank you, Mauli, for your.
I have one question to Manu.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
Manu, what is the secret of your success after you left Makino and became entrepreneur? Rapid fire, answer in 30 seconds.
Okay, secret is nothing. It is an open secret. I worked in Makino where stalwarts like you and Shankaran were there. So whatever Makino was doing, I copied in my own life. With it, that automatically became success. That's all.
Very clever answer. Okay. I tell you Manu Ganesh secret of success. Always smiling face. Never say no to anything. Never get upset even if somebody scolds him, be it a customer or a boss or a colleague or another department or his own subordinate. I'm sure he has got this from his birth. Thank you, Mr. Manu. All the best, Mr. Abhijit.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thanks, Chandra. Again, thank you very much for your insight. To reach out to Chandramouli, you can go to his LinkedIn page, AN Chandramouli, and you can also contact us. We can give you his contact details. And again, viewers and listeners, thanks for hearing us. And I hope it was interesting and very much inspiring for you. Next, we would like to have Chandramouli in our near future for discussing different subjects and topics. I hope, sir, you will be, available for us, can give us some time in your busy schedule. So thank you very much. See you soon and have a great day.
Thank you, Abhijit.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for giving this opportunity. I'm sure we have handsomely exceeded the podcast time.
Yeah, that's
And,
okay. It's very much
You
important.
didn't ask me my weakness. My weakness is time management. And Manu Ganesh will confirm this because our management meetings start with 1 hour target, but we go for 3 hours.
So it's okay if it is improved.
Because your rapid fire was so slow. So, and all the best, Abhijit, for such encouraging things to share our experience and knowledge to the future generation. And that is what I'm doing in the last 3 years of sharing my experience with industry at large, mostly pro bono activity, and a few are happy to pay me, even though I don't ask them. So, but I think it's giving a lot of joy.
Yeah.
The joy of giving week, it comes in October 1st week. So around that time also we can launch podcast, Joy of Giving Week, October 1st week. But before
Sure.
that also, maybe we can have one in August.
Sure, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
sir.
Thanks, Chandra. Thanks, Manu.